Good morning. Today we will start with refrigeration cycles. Multi-purpose refrigeration system with a single compressor. Some applications require refrigeration at more than one temperature. This could be accomplished by using a separate throttling valve and a separate compressor for each evaporator operating at different temperatures. However, such a system is bulky and probably uneconomical. A more practical and economical approach would be to route all the exit streams from the evaporator to single compressor and let it handle the compression process for the entire system. So what we have here, this is TS diagram for refrigerator freezer unit. So this is your freezer unit which is maintained at low temperature. This is refrigerator unit which is certainly maintained little bit at high temperature. So we have a single compressor here. So after compression, the refrigerant will go to the condenser. Heat is ejected by the condenser QH. Then after 3 to 4 is your expansion, and this after 3 to 4 expansion, this fluid will be set to this refrigerator first, and then it will take heat, and then this further is expanded into another valve to go into the freezer. So from 3 to 4 you can say expansion is from at up to intermediate pressure. So the temperature which is produced at this point is much higher as compared to the temperature which is produced at 6th stage at the inlet of the freezer. So why would it is requirement? What is the requirement, or you can say why it is required here? We will discuss it. Consider for example an ordinary refrigerator freezer unit. A simplified schematic of this unit on TS diagram of cycle are shown. Most refrigerator goods have a higher water content, and the refrigerator space must be maintained above the ice point to prevent freezing. So this refrigerator state space means this 4 to 5 it is maintained above freezing. So heat is taken in the refrigerator, but this space is maintained above the freezing to avoid the formation of ice in the vegetables and in the fruits. However, the freezer compartment where you have to actually form the ice is maintained about -80 degrees Celsius. Therefore, the refrigerant should enter the freezer at about -20 degrees Celsius to have heat transfer at a reasonable rate in the freezer. So, but the temperature in freezer should be maintained as we had discussed, -25 means lower as compared to the refrigerator. So this can be achieved by refrigerated space. This can be achieved by throttling the refrigerant to a higher pressure, hence higher temperature for use in refrigerator space, and then throttling it to a minimum pressure for minimum temperature to use in freezer. The entire refrigeration leaving the freezer compartment is subsequently compressed by a single compressor to a condenser pressure. Means we have throttled from 3 to 4, which is higher pressure and higher temperature for refrigerator requirement, and for 5 to 6 further for the freezer requirement, which is lower pressure and lower temperature. Liquefaction of gases. The liquefaction gases has always been an important area of refrigeration since many important scientific and engineering process at cryogenic temperature, which is -100 degrees Celsius, depend on liquefaction gases. Some examples of such process are separation of oxygen and nitrogen from air, preparation of liquid propellants of rockets, and study of material properties at low temperatures. So how we do this? We have this arrangement here. You can see here, this is Linde-Hampson system for liquefied gases. So in this we have this multi-stage compressor, so which will take gas at 2. So 2 it will go to the multi-stage compressor, and there is the intercooling arrangement also. So after one compression, intercooling, then second compression, intercooling, third compression, intercooling, then fourth compression. The exit of the gas is at very high pressure or at very high you can say pressure. So this 3 is at very high pressure. It will go to heat exchanger where it will supply heat to the environment, and temperature will drop from 3 to 0.4. Now at 0.4 what will we do? From 4 to 5 temperature is further dropped by the vapor which after expansion are still in vapor phase. Means when from 6 to, you can say there is the expansion. So during expansion from at 6, you can say during 5 to 6 expansion, take this expansion 5 to 6 expansion. So some part will flash into vapor and some part is in the liquid form. So whatever the liquid form, which is 7, is collected in the tank, and whatever in the vapor form will be circulated back from 6 to 8. So whatever the vapors will be circulated back and they will go to the regenerator, and these vapors has a low temperature compared to this gas which is at 4 to 5. So you can see this 4 to 5 is at higher temperature as compared to this 6 to 8 vapor. So this will, so means these vapors will rise from a temperature from 8 to 9, and they will take heat from 4 to 5. 4 to 5 means this 4 to 5 is cooled by providing heat to vapor at 8. Okay, and after this your fluid will go at 5. Now from 5 it is expanded as we had discussed from 5 to 6, and this cycle is repeated, and whatever the liquid gas you can say produce here, whatever the liquid you had produced here, the same amount of liquid is make up, you can say compensated with the help of makeup gas, which is taken at 1 from here, and it will be mixed with this vapor from 9 and 1 are mixed to form 2, which is further go into the compression, and this cycle is completed. So below we had discussed, so let's discuss it again. Makeup gas is mixed with uncondensed portion of the gas from the previous cycle. So this makeup gas is mixed with this uncondensed gas from the previous cycle. This is the uncondensed gas which come into the vapor. So it will mix with the previous cycle gas, uncondensed gas, and at 2 is compressed by a multi-stage compressor to stage 3. So from 2 to 3 it is compressed by multi-stage compressor. The compression process approaches an isothermal process due to intercooling. The high pressure gas is cooled in an aftercooler by cooling medium or by a separate external refrigerant system to state 4. So this is high pressure gas is cooled in this heat exchanger by a separate external refrigerant system to state 4. So this heat exchanger is also using a separate external refrigeration which is not shown here. The gas is further cooled in a regenerating counterflow heat exchanger by uncondensed portion of the gas from the previous cycle to state 5. Means from 4 to 5 it is further cooled by the uncondensed gas which is 8 to 9. The liquid state 7 is collected as a desired product, and the vapor is routed through the regenerator to cool the high pressure gas approaching the throttle valve. Finally, the gas is mixed with fresh makeup air. So again mixing again done, and the cycle is repeated, and whatever liquid collected that we can use for our low temperature liquid. The critical temperature of helium, hydrogen and nitrogen, 3 commonly used liquefied gases, are -268, -240 and -140 respectively. So these are produced with this method. Gas refrigeration cycle, Carnot cycle and reverse Carnot cycle are identical, and the difference is that they are reverse. The Carnot cycle, standard comparison for power cycle, and reverse Carnot cycle, the standard comparison for refrigerant cycles, except that the reverse Carnot cycle operates in reverse direction. This suggests that the power cycle discussed in earlier chapters can be used as a refrigerant cycles by simply reversing them. In fact, the vapor compression refrigerant cycle is essential a modified Rankine cycle operating in reverse. So means whatever vapor refrigerant cycle we are using, that is the Rankine cycle operating in reverse with little modification. Same here, the cycle which is power produced cycle, which is your Brayton cycle or gas turbine cycle, can be reverse, and the reverse Brayton cycle is better known as gas refrigeration cycle. Why it is gas? Because the refrigerant through the cycle will remain in the gaseous form only. So this is your sample gas refrigeration cycle. From 1 to 2 is your compression, from 2 to 3 is your heat, you can say heat dumped into the environment, and 3 to 4 is your turbine expansion, and 4 to 1 is your heat taken from the cold storage. Coefficient of performance of your gas cycle, gas refrigeration cycle is, that is QL, heat removed from the cooled space or space to be cooled, divided by work net. Now work net is equal to work of compressor minus work of turbine. Compressor will consume work and turbine will, you can say, produce some work. So QL is equal to, this heat taken is equal to H1 minus H4 from the cold refrigerator space. Work turbine is equal to H3 minus H4. So this is it, work turbine H3 minus H4, and work compressor is equal to H2 minus H1. So this is TS diagram showing the gas turbine refrigeration cycle and reverse Carnot cycle. As we can see here, the reverse Carnot cycle is the most efficient cycle, or you can say which can produce the highest output. The reverse Carnot cycle consume a fraction of the net work rectangular area A, area 1A3B, 1A3B, but produces a greater amount of refrigeration, which is triangle area under this B1. So the refrigeration produces effect produced by in gas turbine is area, this area under 419, and but in case of gas turbine cycle, the refrigeration effect is produced is the area under B1 line. So despite their relatively low coefficient performance, the gas refrigeration cycle have two desirable characteristics. They involve simple, lighter components which make them suitable for aircraft cooling, and they can incorporate regeneration, which makes them suitable for liquefaction of gases and cryogenic applications. One thing to be noted, in the Carnot cycle, your heat addition, you can say heat taken for the cold is at constant temperature, while the heat rejection is also at constant temperature. While in gas refrigeration cycle, this is not actually possible. The gas refrigeration cycle deviates from Carnot cycle because the heat transfer process are not isothermal. So 4 to 1 is not isothermal and 2 to 3 is not isothermal. The regenerative cycle is shown in figure 1190. Regenerative cooling is achieved by inserting a counterflow heat exchanger into the cycle. Without regeneration, the lowest turbine inlet temperature is T0, the temperature of the surrounding or any other cooling medium. With regeneration, the high temperature gas is further cooled to T4 before expanding in prime. So what we have here, we will use regeneration. So means after compression inlet, so 1 to 2 is your compressor outlet, 1 is a compressor inlet, 2 is compressed. And from 2 to 3 heat is lost to the environment, that is the heat exchanger, and from 3 to 4 this heat is further lost to the regenerator. If we want lost this heat 3 to 4 to the regenerator, we have to expand from 3 to from 3 point. So if we expand from 3 point, we won't able to achieve the lowest temperature. So to achieve the lower temperature, we will transfer 3 to 4, means we will transfer some of heat in the regenerator to the, you can say, the exhaust gas of the turbine. So after 3 to 4 the temperature will further decrease up to 4, and 4 is the turbine inlet. Now after turbine, the, you can say 4 is your turbine inlet. Now turbine gases will expand isotropically to further lower temperature, which is 5. We had achieved this lowest 5 temperature in the turbine cycle due to this regeneration. Otherwise we will end up here during the expansion. Now from 5 to 6 your heat exchanger, means this is your heat exchanger which will actually produce a refrigeration effect, which will take the heat from the cold space. So from 5 to 6 heat is taken from the cold space, that is QL, and from 6 to 1 this gas is further heated by the heat taken from in the regenerator, and then this cycle is further, it is you can say cycle is further completed, and this process will go on so on. So lowering the turbine inlet temperature automatically lower the turbine exit temperature, which is minimum temperature in the cycle. So it means if you lower the turbine inlet temperature, which means this is 4 as compared to 3, we had lowered from 3 to 4. So further 5 will be further decreased, which is the minimum temperature in the cycle. Extremely low temperature can be achieved by repeating this process. So this is up to here the gas refrigeration cycle. Subscribe this channel, like this video, and thank you for watching this video.